for our offices at Mass to distinguish it from our day-to-day, as it were. We'll wear circlets or cotton. Don't worry about it today. Or to this part. Joy to thee, O Queen of Heaven, Alleluia.
He who was meant to bear, Alleluia.
As he promised hath arisen, Alleluia.
For us to God, not a prayer, Alleluia.
Rejoice and be glad, O Virgin Mary, Alleluia.
For the Lord hath risen indeed, Alleluia.
O God, who by the resurrection of thy Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, hath brought joy into the world, grant that in thy Mother, the Virgin Mary, we may attain the joys of life everlasting, through the same Christ our Lord.
Amen.
O Lord, open thou our lips,
and our mouth shall show forth thy praise.
O God, make speed to save us.
O Lord, make haste to help us.
Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Ghost.
As it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen.
Praise ye the Lord.
The Lord's name be praised.
Hallelujah. God is glorious in his saints. O come, let us worship. Hallelujah. O come, let us sing unto the Lord.
Let us heartily rejoice in the strength of our salvation. Let us come before his presence with thanksgiving, and show ourselves gladly in the psalms. For the Lord is a great God, and a great King above all gods. In his hand are all the corners of the earth, and the strength of the hills is his also. The sea is his that he made it, and his hands prepared the dry land. O come, let us worship and fall down, and kneel before the Lord our Maker. For he is the Lord our God, and we are the people of his pasture, and the sheep of his hand. Today, O Lord, you hear his voice. Harden not your hearts as in the provocation, and as in the day of temptation in the wilderness, when your fathers tempted me, proved me, and saw my others. 40 years long was I grieved with that temptation, and said, it is the people that have prepared their hearts, for they have not known my grace. Unto whom I swear in my law, that they should not enter into my rest. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Ghost, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen.
O hallelujah, the Lord is glorious in his saints.
O come, let us worship. Hallelujah.
My song shall be always of the loving kindness of the Lord. With my mouth will I ever be showing thy faithfulness from one generation to another.
For I have said, loving kindness shall be built up forever. Thy faithfulness shall thou establish in the heavens.
I have made a covenant with my chosen. I have sworn unto David my servant.
Thy seed will I establish forever, and set up thy throne from one generation to another.
O Lord, the very heavens shall praise thy wondrous works, and thy faithfulness in the congregation of the holy ones.
For who is he in these skies that shall be compared unto the Lord? And what is he among the gods that shall be like unto the Lord?
God is very greatly to be feared in the council of the holy ones, and to be had in reverence above all them that are round about.
O Lord God of hosts, whose thy hands be, thy faithfulness, most mighty Lord, is on every side.
Thou rulest the raging of the sea. Thou stillest the waves thereof when they arise.
Thou didst crush Rahab as one that is fierce. Thou didst scatter thine enemies as God of thy mighty arm.
The heavens are thine, the earth also is thine. Thou hast laid the foundation of the round world, and all that is therein.
Thou hast made it north and south. Take Lord and Hermon, rejoice in thy name.
Thou hast a mighty arm. Strong is thy hand, and high is thy right hand.
Righteousness and justice are the foundation of thy throne. Mercy and truth go before thy face.
Blessed is the people that can rejoice in thee. They shall walk, O Lord, in the light of thy countenance.
Their light shall be in thy name all day long, and in thy righteousness shall they be exalted.
For thou art the glory of their strength. By thy favor our horn is exalted.
For to the Lord belongeth our shield, and our King is the Holy One of Israel.
Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Ghost.
As it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen.
The first lesson is written in the book of Deuteronomy, the 9th chapter, beginning at the 11th verse. And it came to pass, at the end of 40 days and 40 nights, that the Lord gave me 2 tablets of stone, the tablets of the covenant. Then the Lord said to me, Arise, go down quickly from here, for your people, whom you brought up out of Egypt, have acted corruptly. They have quickly turned aside from the way which I commanded them. They have made themselves a molten image. Furthermore, the Lord spoke to me, saying, I have seen this people, and indeed they are a stiff-necked people. Let me alone, that I may destroy them, and blot out their name from under heaven. And I will make of you a nation mightier and greater than they. So I turned and came down from the mountain, and the mountain burned with fires, and the 2 tablets of the covenant were in my 2 hands. And I looked, and behold, you had sinned against the Lord your God, had made for yourselves a molten calf. You turned aside quickly from the way which the Lord had commanded you. Then I took the 2 tablets and threw them out of my hands, and broke them before your eyes. And I fell down before the Lord as at the first, 40 days and 40 nights. I neither ate bread nor drank water, because of all your sin which you committed in doing wickedly in the sight of the Lord, to provoke him to anger. For I was afraid of the anger and hot displeasure with which the Lord was angry with you to destroy you. But the Lord listened to me at that time also. And the Lord was very angry with Aaron, and would have destroyed him. So I prayed for Aaron also at the same time. Then I took your sin, the calf which you had made, and burned it with fire, and crushed it, and ground it very small until it was fine as dust. And I threw its dust into the brook that descended from the mountain. Also at Terbera, and Massa, and Kibroth-Hattaavah, you provoked the Lord to wrath. Likewise, when the Lord sent you from Kadesh Barnea, saying, Go up and possess the land which I have given you, then you rebelled against the commandment of the Lord your God, and you did not believe him, nor obey his voice. You have been rebellious against the Lord from the day that I knew you. Thus, I prostrated myself before the Lord 40 days and 40 nights. I kept prostrating myself, because the Lord had said he would destroy you. Therefore, I prayed to the Lord and said, O Lord God, do not destroy your people and your inheritance, whom you have redeemed through your greatness, whom you have brought out of Egypt with your mighty hand. Remember your servants Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Do not look on the stubbornness of this people, or on their wickedness or their sin, lest the land from which you brought us should say, because the Lord was not able to bring them to the land which he promised them, and because he hated them, he has brought them out to kill them in the wilderness. Yet they are your people and your inheritance, whom you brought out by your mighty power and by your outstretched arm. Here endeth the first lesson.
We praise thee, O God. We acknowledge thee to be the Lord. All the earth doth worship thee, the Father everlasting. To thee all angels cry aloud.
the heavens and all powers therein. To thee cherubim and seraphim continually cry, Holy, 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 Lord God of hosts. Heaven and earth are full of majesty and glory. The glorious company of the apostles praise thee. The goodly fellowship of the prophets praise thee. The noble army of martyrs praise thee. The holy church of all the world belongs to thee. The Father of infinite majesty, thine honorable true only Son, also the Holy Ghost and Comforter. Thou art the King of glory, O Christ. Thou art the everlasting Son of the Father. When thou didst upon thee to deliver man, thou didst not abhor a virgin's womb. When thou hast overcome the sharpness of death, thou didst go to the kingdom of heaven to all years. Thou sittest at the right hand of God, into the glory of the Father. We believe that thou shalt come to be our judge. We therefore pray thee, help thy servants, whom thou hast redeemed with thy precious blood. Make them to be numbered with thy saints in glory everlasting. O Lord, save thy people, and bless thy heritage. Govern them and lift them up forever. Day by day we magnify thee, and we worship thy name forever. Thou save, O Lord, keep us this day without sin. O Lord, have mercy upon us, have mercy upon us. O Lord, let thy mercy lighten upon us, as our trust is in thee. O Lord, in thee our trust, let me never be confounded.
The second lesson is written in the book of Acts, the 9th chapter, beginning at the 32nd verse. Now it came to pass, as Peter went through all parts of the country, that he also came down to the saints who dwelt in Lydda. There he found a certain man named Ananias, who had been bedridden 8 years, and was paralyzed. Peter said to him, Ananias, Jesus, the Christ, heals you. Arise and make your bed. Then he rose immediately. So all who dwelt in Lydda and Sharon saw him and turned to the Lord. At Joppa there was a certain disciple named Tabitha, which is translated Dorcas. This woman was full of good works and charitable deeds which she did. But it happened in those days that she became sick and died. When they had washed her, they laid her in an upper room. And since Lydda was near Joppa, and the disciples had heard that Peter was there, they sent 2 men to him, imploring him not to delay coming to them. Then Peter arose and went with them. When he had come, they brought him to the upper room. And all the widows stood by him weeping, showing the tunics and garments which Dorcas had made while she was with them. But Peter put them all out, knelt down and prayed. Turning to the body, he said, Tabitha, arise. And she opened her eyes. When she saw Peter, she sat up. Then he gave her his hand and lifted her up. When he had called the saints and widows, he presented her alive. It became known throughout all Joppa, and many believed on the Lord. So it was that he stayed many days in Joppa with Simon the tanner. Here endeth the second lesson.
Blessed be the Lord God of Israel.
For he hath visited and redeemed his people, and hath raised up on his salvation for us, in the house of his servant, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we should be saved from our enemies, and from the hands of all that hate us, to perform the mercy promised to our forefathers, and to remember his holy covenant, to perform on the oath which you swear our Republic, that he would grant us, that we, being delivered out of the hands of our enemies, might serve him without fear, in holiness and righteousness before him, all the days of our life. And thou, child, shalt behold the mountain of thy house, that thou shalt go before the face of the Lord and prepare his business, to give knowledge of salvation unto his people, for the remission of their sins, to the tender mercy of our God, whereby the days from on high hath visited us, to give light to them that sit in darkness and in the shadow of death, and to guide our feet in the way of peace. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Ghost, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen.
I believe in God,
The Father Almighty, maker of heaven and earth, and in Jesus Christ, his only Son, our Lord, who was conceived by the Holy Ghost, born of the Virgin Mary, suffered under Pontius Pilate, was crucified and buried. He descended into hell. The third day he rose again from the dead. He ascended into heaven, and sitteth on the right hand of God Almighty. From thence he shall come to judge the quick and the dead. I believe in the Holy Ghost, the Holy Catholic Church, the communion of saints, the forgiveness of sins, the resurrection of the body, and the life everlasting. Amen.
the Lord be with you.
And thy spirit.
Let us pray. Lord, have mercy upon us.
Christ, have mercy upon us.
Lord, have mercy upon us. Our Father,
Who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive them that trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
O Lord, show thy mercy upon us.
And grant us thy salvation.
O Lord, save the Queen.
And mercifully hear us when we call upon thee.
Endue thy ministers with righteousness.
And make thy chosen people joyful.
O Lord, save thy people.
And bless thy inheritance.
Give peace at our time, O Lord.
And evermore happily defend us.
O God, make our hearts within us.
And take not thy Holy Spirit from us.
O Lord God, who made St. Ambrose to be a leader among thy people and a champion of the faith, replenish thy church with the spirit of sound learning to interpret thy truth, with the spirit of boldness to judge right judgment, and with the spirit of worship to magnify thy mercy and the beauty of holiness. Through Jesus Christ, thy Son, our Lord, who liveth and reigneth with thee in the unity of the Holy Ghost, ever one God, world without end.
Amen.
O God, who art the author of peace and lover of concord, in knowledge of whom standeth our eternal life, whose service is perfect freedom, defend us, thy humble servants, in all assaults of our enemies, that we, surely trusting in thy defense, may not fear the power of any adversaries, through the might of Jesus Christ our Lord.
Amen.
O Lord, our heavenly Father, almighty and everlasting God, who has safely brought us to the beginning of this day, defend us in the same with thy mighty power, and grant that this day we fall into no sin, neither run into any kind of danger, but that all our doings may be ordered by thy governance to do always that is righteous in thy sight, through Jesus Christ our Lord.
Amen.
The Lord be with you.
And thy spirit.
Let us bless the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
For the souls of the faithful departed through the mercy of God, rest in peace.
Amen.
Almighty God, the fountain of all goodness, we humbly beseech thee to bless our sovereign Lady, Queen Elizabeth, the parliaments of our country and the commonwealth, and all who are set in authority under her, that they may order all things in wisdom, righteousness, and peace, to the honor of thy holy name and the good of thy church and people, through Jesus Christ our Lord.
Amen.
Almighty and everlasting God, from whom cometh every good and perfect gift, send down upon our bishops and clergy and all congregations committed to their charge the healthful spirit of thy grace, and that they may truly please thee, pour upon them the continual dew of thy blessing. Grant this, O Lord, for the honor of our advocate and mediator, Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Almighty God, who has given us grace at this time with one accord to make our common supplications unto thee, and has promised that when two or three are gathered together in thy name, thou wilt grant their request. Fulfill now, Lord, the desired petitions of thy servants, that may be most expedient for them, granting us in this world knowledge of thy truth, and in the world to come life everlasting.
Amen.
The grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, and the love of God, and the fellowship of the Holy Ghost, be with us all evermore.
Amen.
Our sessions this morning, all the sessions will be in the library.